Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Finally, a day that I can record without high winds. Look at these beautiful oak trees. We're gonna go look at the ones that I planted, the bur oaks, and towards the end, we're gonna go look at the seedlings that are planted from the mother tree right there from last year. We'll kind of take a zigzag trip. We have the two bigger ones right here. We have one seedling planted in the field over here. Then there's the whole row right here. The ones going back that way, which we're not going to concentrate on really. And then the seedlings, the majority of them are down in the old vineyard. Well, you look at that. I was going to come and collect all of the acorns at the end of this video, and they're all gone. These were here yesterday, and we got some rabbit fur there. Rabbit fur there as well. Yeah, every one of them is empty. I don't know what did that, if that was deer. These have been on the ground for a couple weeks now, and I've had it on my list to get over here and collect them. But yeah, there's none on the tree either. Oh well. Well, we'll take a look at the tree. This is the one that I call Mother, the one that produces all the acorns. There's still a couple that have acorns in them, but we'll come and take a look at this at the very end. We'll see how many acorns we get out of this. Yeah, these are becoming beautiful trees. All right, so that's Mother, and these are number 11 and number 12 in the order of things. Oh, we got an acorn on this one. Beautiful. We'll pocket that. That looks like it. That and this little tiny one here. Let's toss that on the ground. Got a good sized one. What I'm going to do this year is take any acorns that I find and I'll soak them overnight, get rid of the floaters, and then I'm just going to toss them along the edge of the woods here and down in the woods, down in the north pasture, and we'll see if we can get some to start growing wild. And there is a look at that tree. Yeah, that is a really nice shaped tree, but as they get older, I'm gonna guess that I'll like the mother tree better because I like that real gnarly look. And a quick look at the rabbit ravaged oak. Got some kind of galls on here. This is the one that was bitten at the base and started all them new shoots. That was last year, and it grew to about here that year. Didn't grow a whole lot more this year, but yeah, it is a beautiful specimen of a bur oak. Really nice gnarly bark and stuff. I had planned on clearing this area a little bit this summer, but there wasn't time because of all the rain. Maybe I'll get to that next year. Okay, there's a couple more of these field trees, one here, one there. We're gonna skip over those and go right to the seedling there. You can see the fence around it. I've fenced all of these. There's 5 of them. I fenced them just in case. So let's go take a look at it. This is the survivor tree. This is that little acorn that was left in the tray for, I don't know, an extra month. And it actually survived. And it's probably the best out of all of the seedlings. I'm going to leave these cages on these until the end of next year, or actually spring of the year after that. Depends on how well they fill out, but these cages will probably stay on for another year. And there's number one. A very orderly shaped tree, and this was the biggest tree for a while, and it probably still is, but that one down there where the gate used to be for this pasture, that might have passed it up. Yeah, I believe it has. That's a beautiful tree. We'll get to that in just a minute. No acorns. Yeah, they just pulled the acorn out of the cap. And the reason the acorns were on the ground so long is probably because whatever took them was waiting for the caps to shrink up, or the acorn itself to shrink up and be easy to pull out of the cap. Beautiful tree. Getting a real tree trunk on it now. Yeah, you could definitely sit in the shade of this tree. Beautiful tree. This one, a little bit open on this side, but again, as these trees get bigger, the differences like that are pretty cool. And the gnarliness. Not quite as big as number one there, but I think it's catching up. This tree was a sad little tree. This is that tree. It came up and bent way over, and it had a little tuft of leaves on it, and then it had a branch going upwards. I cut that part that bent over off, and this is the branch that went upwards. So now it has that angle like that. I think that looks cool as all get out. This is by far the gnarliest tree, and I really like that gnarliness. And it has branches growing lowest to the ground. I mean, a bunch of those branches are like right at ground level, and we're going to let them continue that way. Yeah, this is going to be a beautiful tree as it gets older. Well, it's a beautiful tree right now. All right, I can't remember if it was this tree or the next tree that had to be cut down to the ground because it was so sickly. And I put like a tiny little tent of hardware cloth over it for the winter. I'll see if I can dig up that video and show you that. But these next two are the shortest, and this one keeps getting bit by the deer. The deer go right between these two trees. So both of these trees get hit by deer a lot. And this is where they knocked off a good-sized branch that went up through here, and this looked terrible last year. I cut it smooth, and it's almost 100% healed up. I was afraid the top of the tree would die, but it didn't, and it's got this beautiful corky wood. Again, it's got a little history now, and it's going to be an interesting tree. It's not a whole lot taller than I am. I'm 6'4", so I would say, oh, that's maybe 8 feet. I don't know if I'm going to do a measurement thing again this year, but we'll see. Yeah, this tree looks a lot like the last one, but it does have more branches, and it is more uniform. Yeah, that looks cool right there. got all these branches coming out of one spot and not a lot coming out of the other side, probably because this is the south side of the tree, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Again, this is going to be a beautiful tree when it gets bigger. At some point, Natalie may have a house over here. We've talked about it, and these would be lining her front yard. Yeah, I kind of like this time of year because the leaves have a little bit of color to them, and some of the leaves are off, so you can see the structure of the tree. Very cool. This, I don't know. This might be the tree that was all the way to the ground. Yeah, I believe it was. I'll look back onto the old videos and see about that, because this tree is way smaller than the other ones. Well, not in height, but the diameter of the trunk, and it's got this odd shape. It's more like a Christmas tree shape, triangular, and the other trees are like oval. Well, yeah, that big one down there is oval and then pointy at the top, so I guess they're pretty varied. Very skinny little tree, but it's fairly tall. We'll see what happens with this one. This is tree number 6, by the way, and then we're at 7 here. Yeah, this probably has the second most growth down by the ground, right behind that one with the sharp angle right there. Kind of like a generic bur oak. Yeah, I like that they're starting to get wider like this. Beautiful tree. And then this one. The gate used to be right here, so we actually had a fence around that tree right there. It's kind of hard to see it. It blends in with the background because it's lost a lot of its leaves, but we had a fence going around it and then a gate over to here. And then the gate actually went right here, or not the gate, but the fence. And I wouldn't have been able to cut the grass between the trees and the fence this year. Yeah, it followed right along the edge of those. This one is a beautiful, thick, healthy tree. And its leaves are still, for the most part, green. Got a couple that are changing, but yeah, it's late October, and that thing is still nearly 100% green. And that one and that one have lost most of their leaves already. See if we can get in there a little bit. Not the biggest trunk, but it's really a healthy tree. All right, well, let's look at this one real quick. That was 8, this is 9. No, that's 9, this is 10, 11, 12. So we're a little bit out of order. Number 10 here. It's forked into 2 tops. I don't know if it'll continue like that or if one will like become a branch. It's probably going to continue like that. So this tree will likely be a good deal shorter than that tree, which still has a defined top. This is another fairly gnarly tree with a lot of stuff growing towards the bottom. This is going to be a real nice tree to have right behind the shop. real good look to it. Number 9. This has always been the oddest tree out of all of them. For the longest time, it had like a little tuft of leaves right in here somewhere, and then a real long skinny branch, and then a tuft of leaves up there. And that's what grew out of it. It still has that big bare spot there. It's going to be a real interesting tree as it grows, but it's really sparse. I mean, even in midsummer, you can look right through this one, and you can't with any of these other ones. Okay, let's take a quick look at the ones along the road, and then we'll get down by the rest of the saplings. All right, we're down at the very last one. These grew really fast. They shot up really quick, but now they've kind of stabilized, and I really don't know what kind of trees these are. They are definitely part bur oak, but I think these are all hybrids. This one here and that next one get bitten by the deer a lot, but now that they're this big, they're going to do fine. Yeah, these lost their leaves real early this year. I think that we were thinking these were swamp white oak mixed with bur oak, or possibly swamp white oak completely. But they do look pretty bur oaky, but yeah, look at this one compared to those. They all have a little bit different look to them, and none of them look exactly like a bur oak. This one here, the year after it was planted, it grew 7 or 8 feet. Look at how tall that thing is already. And again, not sure what kind of tree this is. It doesn't have the gnarly bark like a bur oak, and like on the stems, it's cracked, but it doesn't have the ridges. That is a little bit of it there. So, best guess is it's a hybrid, but I don't know. We'll have to have these checked out by the university at some point. Have them come and take a look at them. And this one was real sickly for 2 years. It was just a tiny little thing down there, and I was going to take it out and plant a new one, and it shot up. So, and this one is the only one that really looks like a bur oak. Okay, let's head down and look at those saplings, and we'll wrap this up. Take a little look at the fall colors. The only thing that still has leaves on it is mostly the oaks. I like the look of the oaks. We don't have a whole lot of maple here, so you don't get a whole bunch of red and stuff like that. But it is definitely beautiful. Looks like a deer bedded down in the side oats grandma. Here's our tall grass prairie. Little blue stem, Indian grass, big blue stem. Yeah, these are some beautiful grasses. For these cages, I used stuff that I already had. So this one and the next one are these big opening ones. These are cattle fences, but that's all they need. If a baby rabbit were to get through there, they could do some damage. But here and here, you're not really likely to get any baby rabbits because they would be gotten by the hawks and the owls and stuff. It's the ones towards the edges like where a rabbit can just run out and do some damage and then run back. Those are the ones that are in the most danger. I believe it's the next one here that got the top bitten off. 1 year bur oak. These are going to grow a lot more in the second year. And like I said, I'm going to leave the cage on. I'm going to guess they get 2 feet, maybe 3 feet in the next year. And then we'll take the cages off and we'll spritz them with deer repellent for another year or two. And by that time, they should be just fine. Doesn't matter, even if the deer bite the whole top off, they'll grow a new top and they should be fine after that. Yeah, this is the one that got the top bitten off and it's already lost a couple leaves. Looks pretty sad, but it's gonna look real nice next year. And our final one. Yeah, these just have these little pieces of whatever scrap was laying around over the top, just to keep them from reaching in and biting the top off once they get up a little higher. This one has some nice big leaves on it, and it's still collecting energy. I've watered all of these saplings, I think probably 5 times. We had a drought this year. The last watering was just pure water. The one before that was full strength fertilizer. They have tons of energy stored up for next year. So I'm going to say they're going to grow like crazy next year, but we'll see on that. So that's going to wrap up this look at the bur oaks in the fall of 2024. What a view. I have a ton of wood cutting to do. I've already started that, but I'll film some of the rest of it. So if you want to see any of those videos, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.